Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, it's easy. Just go to shrmedia.com. Or, there's two other ways. You can go to Facebook or YouTube and search for, you got it, shrmedia.com. Don't forget while you're there to hit the like or subscribe button. I'm laughing on the inside because right now Tennessee, what is it, Memphis, Tennessee, I think it is. Yes, Memphis, Tennessee just took a vote to remove statues of Nathan Bedford Forrest and Jefferson Davis from city-owned property. So this whole statue thing has been dead for a while. I wonder why that popped up tonight. And they have crews out there set up to remove the statues. I wonder why. Could it be to divert the media's attention? To give them something else to talk about besides, say, a tax bill that was just passed? Tax cut? Could it be all the good news that is followed by the companies that have made Democrats out to be liars? Could be. Because I'm sitting here, I'm over looking at the one computer, and Fox News on Facebook. And I just was scrolling through, came across them. Fox News is live now in Memphis, Tennessee, and they're just showing a live broadcast from Tennessee. Oh, that kind of goes into it. The pervasive. Doesn't sound right. Media bias about the GOP-led tax bill has caused a vast majority of people to believe they are going to receive a massive tax hike when Trump signs the tax bill into law. The leftist media pundits and even objective anchors and reporters have framed the bill as a tax cut for the rich that is being paid for by the middle class, even though analysts shows that the middle class will reap the biggest income gains. As the Wall Street Journal Richard Rubin tweeted on Tuesday, 80% of the households will get cuts in 2018, but only 17% in the Wall Street Journal poll believe they're getting tax cuts. That gap between perception and reality may be attributed to media hysteria that has described the bill as plunder, tax cuts for the rich, and a fantasy. But here's the thing. In February is when it's going to kick in. And when people start seeing more money in their fucking pockets, and they realize the Democrats have been lying to them, we know we're going to have some other Democrats running out and saying something else. Oh, what are they going to do? This was actually Obama. Because they're trying to say this economy boost is Obama. 8 years of stagnant negative numbers. He leaves office, and then his policies finally kicked in. They really think we're that dumb, I think. I'm not. I ain't falling for the bullshit. like I didn't fall for the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Well, I looked outside today. The sky is still up. The sky is still bright. The sky is still beautiful. Democrats are full of shit, as normal. After the House passed the bill on Tuesday, the Associated Press published an unbelievable misleading headline, writing that the bill provides steep tax cuts for businesses, the wealthy. Of course, the tax bill provides tax cut for the lower and middle class as well. And what's funny is they're sitting there promoting this on the news. Then you had, I think it's Bette Midler, crying that her taxes are going to go through the roof. Wait a minute, she's one of those rich sons of bitches that they said are getting a tax cut. But she's complaining of her taxes going up. People in New Jersey are freaking the fuck out. New York, California, oh my God, we've been spending money like a drunken sailor. Now we can't write it off on our federal taxes. How dare they do that? According to the Joint Committee on Taxation, the middle class will receive $61 billion in tax cuts in 2019, totaling 23% of overall tax cuts for individuals. Yet outlets like the Washington Post, Newsweek, Time Money, and the New Yorker, the New York Times all describe the bill as a tax hike on the middle class. While some of the benefits to the middle class expire by 2027, which is primarily what is being referenced by those media outlets, any tax hike is contingent on the assumption that the tax benefit will not be renewed by 2027. That outcome is relatively unlikely considering the history of the temporary Bush-era tax cuts and the fact that the 2027 expiration date was only added to overcome a Senate budget rule. Many of those claims also center on the repeal of the Obamacare individual mandate. That's right. Starting in 2019, you will not have to buy insurance if you do not want to. Our government will no longer fine you. Which is beautiful. You know, one time someone said, well, the government forces you to buy car insurance. Why shouldn't they be allowed to force you to buy health insurance? Well, if I don't want to pay for car insurance, I don't own a fucking car. And then I don't have to pay health insurance. If I can't afford car insurance, I just don't own a car. It's that simple. The government forcing us to buy a product, and these companies jacking the bills up, and the Democrats knew that was going to happen. So now the individual mandate is peace gone. And now they're, oh my God, all these people are going to lose their health insurance. Oh, they're taking health insurance away. No, they're not. People are going to be able to choose to stop paying those massive bills if they so choose to. It'll be gone. Be gone. They're not losing. They're choosing to get rid of. But no, the Democrats like to mislead you on some wording. The media pundits and anchors have done their fair share of outright fucking lying to the American people. Talk about fake news. What you are seeing in the United States Senate is the ugliest display of pigs at the trough that I've ever seen in Congress. MSNBC anchor Lawrence O'Donnell cried on his show. And one of the things they told you, companies are not going to spend any more money just because of this tax break. They're going to pocket that money. They will not spend it on anybody. pocket it because they're greedy sons of bitches. MSNBC hosts were out there. God, they were out there running their mouths about it. This tax bill, this tax break for the rich and lowering the corporate tax rate down to 20% is not going to help the economy. It is not going to allow, these companies are not going to spend any more money. The wealthy, they're just going to stick it in their pockets. Yeah. Well, who owns MSNBC? Oh, that's right. Comcast. Comcast owns them. And what does that mean? Wait a minute. Comcast had a major announcement tonight after the passing of the tax bill. It said it was because of the tax bill. And that is, they will be giving 100,000 employees, and that's frontline employees, not executives. Frontline employees will get a $1,000 bonus this year. And you think, well, that's nothing big. They also announced, now this is the owner of MSNBC that was touting that companies would not be spending more money. They announced that they will invest $50 billion over the next 5 years in infrastructure towards its broadband plant and capacity, our television, film, and theme park offerings. $50 billion is getting thrown into our economy. How much taxes are going to be on that? Ooh, a lot. They're going to be hiring thousands of new employees as a result of this. They're hiring thousands of new employees because this GOP tax deal. They're going to spend $50 billion over the next 5 years because of this tax bill. They're giving a $1,000 bonus to low-level employees because of this tax bill. Oh, and it doesn't end there. It does not end there. AT&T was the first actually one to announce $1 billion in capital spending and a $1,000 bonus for over 200,000 U.S. employees. $1 billion getting dumped by AT&T into our economy. $50 billion by Comcast. How much taxes are going to be paid on that? Oh, that's a lot. All because guess what? The GOP tax bill. Tax cut, I should say. Oh, and there's more companies to come, too. Hang on, I gotta check some. Now I know what that is. You think that it's not going to help? It's not going to do nothing? No. Oh my God! What are they going to say? Oh, that's right. They got they're showing live from Tennessee because they don't want to talk about this. How about Boeing announces $300 million they're dumping into the American economy. Wells Fargo announces they're raising the company's starting minimum wage. Fifth Third Bancorp announces a $1,000 bonus to employees, and they are raising the starting minimum wage. Don't need the government to step in. There's more money coming into the companies because they get to bring that money from overseas that they've been not hiding, but they've had kept offshore because of how much taxes they would have had to pay if they brought it in. So now the tax rate is down. They're pouring that money right in. They're pouring it in. billions of dollars is getting dumped into our economy. Jobs are going to be created. Taxes that are going to have to be paid on that money. And the Democrats scream, "The sky is falling! The sky is falling!" That surprises me. They know that this bill was going to be successful. They knew it was. So for them to go out there and these outright lies like they did really shocked me. They went really overboard with the typical rhetoric. But yes, I'm supposed to believe that the sky is falling. It's the end of days. I see the zombies running past my house. Oh no, that's just, Democrat politicians running to their doom. I have a question. All those employees that are going to be getting $1,000 paychecks. All those anti-Trump Democrats that have talked so much shit about this bill, will they refuse to take that $1,000 bonus? Because they're getting it because of Trump and pushing a tax reform. Will they refuse that money? I highly doubt they will. These payments, especially for AT&T announced that the bonus payments will go to union representative, non-management, and frontline management. In other words, the working men and women who President Trump has promised will be helped by the tax reform bill. But yet, the end of the world, oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, it boggles my mind. It does. What are the Democrats going to do in February when people start seeing more money in their pocket and they realize this tax break, tax reform, whatever you want to call it? What are they going to do? Because where they're getting at, and then they're complaining because of this, that right now, as it stands, without any money coming in, the taxes that they cut, and cut on the middle class and the corporate tax rate, it created, on paper right now, a deficit. It doesn't take into account just yet, because they don't know exactly how much would be brought in, all the extra money that they will make from those tax cuts. And what I mean is, when you talk about tax, what the hell is it called? I can't remember the exact. Like when Reagan cut his taxes in the 80s, the taxation profit was like at $50 billion a year, something like that. My numbers may be off, so if I'm off, but you'll get the idea. Let's just say it was $50 billion a year. When he cut the taxes, because more people had more money on them and were spending more money, so when they spent more money, they paid more taxes, or income from all that went up to like $150 billion our government was getting a year. See, the Democrats think you increase taxes will bring in more money. You increase taxes, people have less of it in their pocket. They're not going to spend any at the stores. You give them more money in their pocket, they'll spend more money when they're out shopping. So it creates an economy, creates more jobs, creates more demand, creates more money in your pocket, creates you spending more money. You take more money away from people from taxes, they have less money, they spend less money. They spend less money, there's less jobs, more people out of work. Got to raise taxes even more. Democrats can't get that simple math through their head. I can understand that. I can understand that basic economics 101. Democrats can't. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo. In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening. Contact is the evening. Now back to Reaver of Common Sense with Jersey Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Hey, don't forget, if you want to watch a live stream, it's easy. Just go to SHR Media, or you can go to Facebook and YouTube and search for SHR Media if you haven't already liked us and subscribe to us. And if you do, I'll hug you and love you and squeeze you. Sorry. Hey. For some reason, I got Bugs Bunny in the head all of a sudden. The abominable snowman. I'm gonna love him and hug him and squeeze him. I'm gonna name him George. So, I talk about Democrats and I think of that idiot. Let's see, where are we? Oh, let's see, Wednesday on CNN's Wolf. Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof. Sorry. Senator Bernie Sanders said the Republican tax bill was a disaster. Was a disaster for the American people, and that the GOP will not be celebrating next November. Sanders said, well, it's a victory for billionaires like Donald Trump. It's a victory for wealthy campaign contributors like the Koch brothers. Hey, we haven't heard about the Koch brothers in a long time now. But this is a disaster for the American people. According to the Tax Policy Center, at the end of 10 years, Wolf, 83% of the tax benefits will go to the top 1%. 60% of the benefits will go to the 1/10 of 1%. This whole policy is based on the fraudulent theory of trickle-down economics, and that is if you give huge tax break to large corporation and the wealthy, somehow the middle class and the working families benefit. The problem is that theory has never worked. It didn't work under Reagan. It didn't work under George Bush. It certainly didn't work recently in the state of Kansas. This is a payback for wealthy campaign contributors, and I think the Republicans will rule the day. That's two Democrats. What the fuck is with that all of a sudden? We will rule the day. Schumer said the same thing. They got the same fucking writer. And I'm being serious. They have to have the same writer. Because there's no way that word has not been used in decades. And now all of a sudden these two are using it. And let me tell you, it worked under Reagan. Everybody knows that. Only ones that deny are the Democrats because they know that getting trickle-down economics again will destroy them for several more election years. Just like Reagan, well, Democrats got hurt big time. Reagan got 2 terms, then Bush. So they know if they trickle down will never work. Yes, it will. We're already seeing it, you dumbass socialists. You're talking that these companies somehow won't give the money to the middle class. Tell that to the people that are getting $1,000 bonuses this Christmas. Tell that to the people that are going to be getting a higher working wage, you socialist piece of fucking shit. They have to lie straight to your face. And again, what scares the crap out of me is there's so many people that actually believe these lying bastards. Listen, the Republican Party, there's issues with it. They put a tax plan that is going to help everybody. And to help everybody, yes, you have to give some of the rich breaks. Because if they don't have the extra money to spend in their companies, we sure as hell are not going to see any. And let me tell you something, Bernie. When you raise the fucking corporate tax, those corporate companies don't pay that tax, you dumbass. We, the people, pay that tax. Because they jack the price up of their products to offset the increase on corporate tax. Maybe you don't understand these basic economics because you're a socialist piece of shit. Even someone as simple-minded as myself understands that those who have money will spend money when they have extra. This is also coming from a man that has never, and I mean never, a day in his fucking life worked for it. Bernie Sanders got right out of college, went on welfare, got elected as a mayor, then worked his way up, well, government welfare. And he's still on government welfare. He has never worked a day in his life. So tell me, Bernie, how the fuck do you know what real life is about? Because you've never lived it a day in your life. That just... I tell you right now, my face is all red. Reverets. Assemble. It just... The misinformation. That's what's... You know what? The Democrats could have got on board on this. Probably Donald Trump is the type of man he would have worked to give them a bone, to help them, make them look a little bit good. Unlike them. But no, they chose just to attack him, not try to be a part of the process, just attack. At least, you know, some of the Republicans try to make amendments and all that, be a part of Obamacare, and the Democrats shove them right out of it. You don't like the bill, you don't vote for it. But they're lying their ass off. That's the one that has me going. That's just low. That's just being a fucking scumbag. Because there's one thing, those types of lies, they come out in the laundry. People find out about those lies. White House economic advisor Gary Cohen said he will remain in Trump's administration despite rumors that he would leave after tax reform passed. I'm staying, he said shortly in an interview with AXO reporter Mike Allen after celebrating the successful push for tax reform. The White House and Senate passed the bill technically on Wednesday was when it finally got passed. Cohen said he looked forward to pushing forward on President Trump's economical agenda in 2018, including welfare reform and infrastructure spending. The last year of my life has probably been the most fascinating that I've ever had, Mr. Cohen stated. Cohen said that despite his deal-making success on Wall Street as the COO of Goldman Sachs, he found Washington, D.C. immensely difficult. You literally have to align the sun, the moon, and the stars and make sure everyone stays healthy to get this done. Allen asked Cohen what it was like to be in the White House while being a Democrat and having family members who do not support Trump. Cohen assured the audience that his family was supportive of what he was doing and that the president was always eager to hear his opinion despite his political background. The president talks to me all day long. He knows I'm going to have a different opinion on a lot of topics. That's fine. I have no problem with that. You can have political disagreements and still work together. The Democrats keep running out there and saying that the Republicans are doing party over country. They're saying that because they know there's some key words in there that Republicans have talked about for years. So they think if they go out there and beat that Trump, we'll oh yeah, he's right, they're right. They say country. Duh. They actually think we're that fucking stupid. I'm not that stupid. I can see through your simple-minded Jedi mind tricks. Jedi mind tricks do not work on me. These are not the droids you are looking for. I'm yelling so much. Get slobber all over my mic. Oh. And I got one of those screens for in front of the mic, but it's like this goddamn big. It's like as big as my face. I don't have one of those. They call them like a windsock, just to slide over. Wow. You know, it takes a special scumbag to come out there and lie like they do. And they hold the Republican Party to a high standard. And the Republican Party actually tries to live up to that standard. But the Democrat Party is Lucy. I think it's Lucy. And the Republican Party is Charlie Brown, and they're playing football. And they keep pulling that football away. No matter what they do, they'll never live up to the standard. Thank you, Jenna. It's... I don't know. One of these days, it's really going to backfire. And I think November 2018, it's going to backfire big time on them. And the Democrats are not going to like what's coming about. I know they keep out there going, we're taking over in 2018. I can say I'm the fucking Pope all I want. Doesn't make me the Pope. Your actions and everything that I see in real life, not in mainstream media, in real life, people are not happy with the Democrat Party. Hell, my area has been going Democrat lately. But guess what? I don't think so. I have Bill Nelson as my senator, unfortunately. And right now, Rick Scott's polling is double-digit over Bill Nelson. We just had another special election round here for a House seat. And again, normally the Democrats have been gaining some momentum. Republican won again. We've been turning a little red in my area, and I love it. I love it. We'll see. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the Unpleasant Blind Guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening. Contact is the evening. Now back to the Reaver of Common Sense with Jersey Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. So I came across a quick article, and it made me wonder why. Eric Holder has been very adamant that Trump cannot fire Mueller. And why is he so dead set on that? Why would he really care? Because probably if the truth comes out, Holder will be going to jail. I mean, Trump has said multiple times he has no plan on firing Mueller. He's going to let the investigation go. But yet you have Democrat, Senator Democrat Mark Warren, who keeps running his mouth. Friday, Trump said, "I'm not firing him. This is fake news." The whole weekend was covered by these lamestream media. Oh, Trump's going to fire, Trump's going to fire, Trump's going to fire, Trump's going to fire. They created this whole media circus around a fake report, reported by fake news itself. And now you have this senator who's trying to, again, they're doing everything. They'll be doing everything they can to try to deviate from all the great news that's coming out, because they can't let you know something great happened to the country today. And they're out there, firing Mueller would be a gross abuse of power. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Because technically they're investigating Russia, and they're investigating people that were involved in the campaign. They're technically not investigating Trump himself. Top Dem, Intel Dem, warns Trump not to interfere with Mueller probe. This probe is already no good. It's biased. It has so many issues with it. If it was a boat, it would have sunk. They want it to keep going because they see how much bias is there, and of course they want that bias to stay. So if they're making this big fuss, we know there's something worse going on out there, people. If the Democrats are out here rattling the chains this loudly, something else is going on. And something big is going on that they're trying to hide. And this senator, well, he just threatened the president because he said, warns Trump of significant consequences. Who the fuck are you? You know, he's getting his 5 minutes of fame. And what's funny is it's not Trump that's calling for it. It's been a representative here in Florida, Matt Gaetz. Well, he's in the House, but he represents Florida. I love how the MSNBC GOP congressman struggles to defend accusation against Rosenstein and Mueller. He doesn't have to struggle. Anybody with a vocabulary level of over 3 can easily explain, pointing out the bias and the obvious corruption of this investigation. Oh, that's why they're doing it. They're blasting this because it's within the last couple hours all this really started. So that's a new one that they're trying to deviate from the great news of all these companies announcing pumping billions of dollars into the U.S. economy and giving American money, giving American workers a bonus because of the tax break. Of course, they got to do something. I figured out what I wanted to know what they were going to do. It's I don't know. I don't know. Now, Rosie O'Donnell, she's done some stupid shit with her mouth. But I hope to God there's an investigation started on her. I'm being dead serious. There better be an investigation. She tried to bribe 2 senators. She was right on Twitter trying to bribe 2 senators to change their vote and offered them $2 million each if they changed their vote and voted against the tax cut. So if they voted against the tax cut, she would pay them $2 million after they announced that they were voting. She tried to bribe 2 senators. That's bribery. That's bullshit. And I hope to God an investigation is being started on that. Both senators voted yes for the bill, and her tweet was, so how about this? I promise to give $2 million to Senator Susan Collins and $2 million to Senator Jeff Flake if they vote no. No, I will not kill Americans for the something rich. Direct message me, Susan. Direct message me, Jeff. No shit, $2 million cash. It boggles my mind. It really does. And then she wrote to Susan, to Susan Collins, this is your legacy, and if you vote yes, it is your last term. This woman thinks way too high of herself. Then she also, Susan, $2 million cash is another tweet. $2 million cash. Call if you want to negotiate. And do you think your family is proud of you? I cannot believe that's got to be investigated. That is attempted bribery. Whether they took the bribe or not, that was in a public forum she did this. Oh, and also in this bill, I forgot to mention, is a long overdue of opening the Arctic National Wildlife Reserve to oil exploration and the jobs that will come with it, and the repeal, as I said, of Obamacare mandate that forces every American to buy health insurance. So those are 2 beautiful other things that came about with it. Oh. Now, her new tweet that was put up this morning. We cannot sit at home while they rob our nation, your neighbor's health care, for the fucking Mercers and Koch brothers. Fuck them, rise up. This woman, I think she needs to be committed. She has fucking lost her mind. Now, what's funny is Ben Shapiro sent a response back to her. Let me pull it up. And she responded, "Suck my dick." Which, well, it wouldn't surprise me if she actually had a dick. It really wouldn't. Where the hell is it? I know I have it. Oh, there it is. So she says, "Suck my dick," and his response just shut her right up. And I'm pulling it up. Bear with me. Please hold. So, Ben Shapiro writes, if Trump orders Sessions to investigate Rosie, he will be carved into Rushmore by Friday. Which Rosie responded, "Suck my dick, Ben." Ben Shapiro wrote back, "You're already a felon, Rosie. Don't be a homophobic sexual harasser, too." And then he put another one, came back with a hashtag, "Me Too." And that hashtag's being used for people who have been sexually harassed. They put "Me Too." So Ben Shapiro got sexually harassed by Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell telling him to suck her dick. Now, technically, women do have dicks. They do have balls. I know everybody's thinking I'm fucking nuts, but no. See, when you're in the embryo stage, and you're developing, and it's getting ready to say whether you're a boy or girl, we all have the same parts. But when it says you're going to be a boy, it triggers everything, and it causes your testicles and your penis to grow. Kind of small at that stage, but they are there. Now, for women, what it does is it doesn't trigger the penis to grow, and the testicles invert and grow inside, and they turn into ovaries. Ovaries and testicles are actually the same thing prior to really major changes of that. And the dick actually turns into the clitoris. I'm not being a smartass. I'm not trying to be perverted. I'm actually giving a medical lesson here. That is what happens during development. When the genes trigger and one goes to male, the testicles are created with the testosterone. And if it's a female, they invert and become, ovaries. Bet you didn't know that. No, I'm sure some of you probably did. Others didn't. And again, I'm not trying to be a smartass. I'm really not. That is actually medical what goes on. Oh. Alright, we are going to play one of Money Talks Minutes from Melanie. And we're going to head to breaks. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. And we will be right back.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk with Melanie, Money Talk Minute. This week we're going to discuss savings mistakes to avoid. Here are just 3. First mistake, keeping your savings and checking accounts at the same bank. What do I mean by this? If you keep your savings account in the same place as your checking account, you're going to be way more tempted to transfer your savings money into your checking account and spend money that you meant to save. So you want to avoid that. It keeps you honest. Second thing, being seduced by introductory rates. Banks do this all the time. And anytime it comes to any special offers, quite frankly, it is usually some kind of trick. So be careful of that. Many banks will offer these awesome introductory savings rates to get you in the door, and then it only applies up to a certain amount of time, and then that rate goes down real low, and you're really not benefiting. Finally, keeping all your savings in one place. Divide your savings up into different accounts for specific purposes. Have a separate one for emergency funds, or have a separate one to save for a car, something like that. The reason you want to do that is that if all your money is in one single savings account, it's very easy to accidentally spend something that was appropriated for one thing on something else. So that's this week's Money Talk Minute. I'm your business diva, Melanie Collette. Please be sure to watch Money Talk with Melanie Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Pay no attention to the muffled screams in the background. You are listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on the SHR Media Network. Back to you, Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour in approximately 53 minutes will be the Sackheads Radio Show, hosted by Sackhead Clint, BZ, and Sackhead Sean. Oh, let's see, where are we at? Oh, I don't know. You would think by now. I'm still just dumbfounded on the Democrats. I mean, we're not asking for a miracle here. We're just asking for a little honesty. That's all. I gotta order. I still haven't ordered anything for like a face mask while I'm sanding and stuff. I'm just. You'd think they would have learned by now. They've lost how many elections? They've been acting the same way, and they've been losing elections upon elections upon elections. And you would think they would learn that maybe, hey, the way we've been acting is not the way the American people want us to act. I know they got this small, radical, loud fringe that approves of it. But that's not going to get you where you need to go. I mean, it's... Damn it, Janet! I'm a doctor. Oh. I honestly thought that they could do better than this. You know, they're supposed to be professionals, but they're not. And now they're trying to attack Nikki Haley, our ambassador to the UN. And this is coming from the Times of Israel report. United States Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, said the U.S. will be taking names of countries that support a draft resolution rejecting President Donald Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital that's set for a General Assembly vote on Thursday. They're basically trying to condemn and reject Donald Trump's decision to move Israel to Jerusalem. That seems simple. It's something America has been talking about for years. We have, and technically we've already acknowledged that it is the capital. And Nikki turned around and told him, hey, those that vote against us will be taking names down because you've been taking billions of dollars from us. These countries have been taking billions of dollars from us, and now they're not willing to back us on a decision. So, they can go pound sand up their ass when it comes time for them to start asking for money. Well, you didn't back us, so fungal you. I agree with it. I'm sick and tired of these damn countries, I almost said companies, that give us a big middle finger. They come begging for money from us, but then screw us over in a heartbeat. Well, you know what? I'm glad, she said, that they're taking names now. I know the liberals say, oh, look at that, he's being a bully. He's being a bully. No, he's not being a bully. He's not taking any more shit, is what he's doing. He's not handing over our hard-earned money to a bunch of ungrateful bastards. Now, Turkey and Yemen requested the urgent meeting of a 193-nation forum on behalf of the Arab group of countries and the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation after the U.S. vetoed the measure in the Security Council. The two countries circulated a draft resolution that mirrors the vetoed measure, reaffirming that any decision on the status of Jerusalem has no legal effect and must be rescinded. Oh, here's the thing. Hold on. Fuck you. You don't tell us what we do. We already have, not embassy, but a consulate in Jerusalem. We have people in Jerusalem, officials. So it doesn't make any difference. You know what? I'd love to see Trump go. Fuck you. I don't care what you say. The United States is recognizing Jerusalem. And we're not the only one. There's other countries now stepping up going, we're going to do the same thing. It has started a little bit of a domino effect. You know? I'm tired of the UN. They sit there and they take all this money from us, and then they sit there and they condemn us, talking how we're, you know, this evil entity, and we're so bad and we're so evil. Oh, we need money. United States, give us money. Guess what? Bank is closed. You think we're that evil? Well, we no longer giving out loans. No more. Bye-bye. I'm serious. I'm tired of that shit. You want to sit there and say we're evil and all that? Well, don't come to us for money. No, no, no. If we're that evil, our money's no good then. The same way that people shouldn't accept money from, these cartels and stuff. That's dirty money. Well, if we're that evil, don't take our money. Don't come ask us for help. Your country's under attack? Fuck you. United States closed. Sorry, we're closed. I'm tired of the way some of these countries treat us. Piss off. We're done. We're not taking it anymore. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. Oh. Now I saw this, and I don't know exactly what it's all about, so just bear with me. It was saying that as the White House takes its victory lap over the passage of the sweeping Republican tax overhaul, the IRS is scrambling to roll out new rules in time for 2018. The country's new tax system is to go into effect in 12 days, and already payroll processors say they are in panic mode as they try to figure out new withholding rules affecting millions of Americans. The American Payroll Association, which represents 21,000 members and 17,000 employees, has written a letter to Congress complaining that its members were starting to panic about having to implement Herculean changes in so little time. It will be an uphill battle for the government, too. Okay, I get what this is talking about. All right, with the passage of this tax package, they will go into effect, I think, February 1st, right around there. Well, everything has to get written, and these companies don't exactly understand the new laws. So everybody's got to try to get on the same page. And now we're talking, we got Christmas coming up, we got New Year's. It's a very compact time, and this stuff takes time. So they're like scrambling, and so now they're panicking. So after the celebration is over, what comes next? Reaction and analysis. I mean, I don't know. Oh, let's see. The Federal Tax Collecting Agency will be taking on the enormous rule writing task without a permanent commissioner leading it. In recent years, the IRS has also seen its budget slashed and its workforce shrink, and has struggled to make tech upgrades. The agency is likely to be challenged at every turn by tax attorneys and accountants watching how it implements the new code. The IRS has also been the frequent target of Trump administrative and Republicans who have criticized it for being biased against conservative. But it's this very agency, along with the Treasury Department, that will be responsible for writing new regulations on a range of items, from setting how multinational corporations are taxed on the profits they make abroad, to change the withholding tables for taxes in preparation for rate changes that will take effect as 2018 begins. IRS said that it has already taken the initial steps to prepare guides on withholding in the next year. Now, the other article that I came across, the governor-elect for New Jersey, Philip Murphy, this loudmouth, he is now threatening legal action against the Trump administration and this new tax plan. Specifically, he is pissed because New Jersey, well, you only get to write off $10,000 worth of your state income tax, your property tax, all that. Well, like one guy on Facebook put, he lives in North Jersey. He's not pissed at Trump. He understands why it went through. He supports it. His property tax alone is $20,000 a year. $20,000 a year in property taxes. Now, he can only write off $10,000. Now, there's also what he's going to have to pay the state of New Jersey. You know, there's a whole list of stuff. Now he won't be able to write all that off. And as he said, that's not everybody else's problem. That's his problem for living in New Jersey. Okay? Now, the New Jersey elect governor says, well, you pay a higher tax in New York, California, and New Jersey because we're premium states. I almost fell off my couch laughing my ass off. Okay, they call me Jersey Joe because I lived in that shit state for over 30 years. There's nothing premium about it. Now, as the state goes, I miss some things about New Jersey. I will say that. I don't miss the overtaxation. I don't miss the strangling, anti-constitutional, anti-gun laws they have on the books. I don't miss the government up your ass giving you a proctology exam. And it sure as hell is not a fucking premium state. You don't get nothing special for paying your higher taxes. There's nothing premium about New Jersey. It's just a fancy way to say we're fucking you over and we're trying to make you think it's a good thing. There's nothing special about New Jersey. I lived there for over 30 years. State's running down. People are running out of that state in masses. That's what's special about it. People are running away from it. Premium. Get the fuck over yourself. And then it's already an anti-gun state. And they're talking now more gun regulations. You're going to have to get a psychological evaluation at your cost. They're going to have to inspect your house. You're going to have to give up your constitutional right and have inspections on your house if you want to own a gun. Yeah. Get the fuck out of that state as fast as you can. Tell them where to pound sand. Oh my God, it's just... They actually had the balls to say that. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's just too funny. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello. I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. And don't forget, coming up top of the hour in about 31 minutes will be the Sackheads Radio Show. And hopefully they won't be showing no one-ear elephants. Well, from what Sean's saying, it's tiny. Well, that makes sense, you know. Clint's got that big nose, so they had to compensate from somewhere else, you know. I don't know. So, we'll see. All right. So, Franken has finally set the date for his departure from Congress. Fox News has learned that Franklin's last day will be January 2nd. Officials with his office say that Franken, a Democrat from Minnesota, plans to make official his resignation at that time. His appointed successor, Lieutenant Governor Tina Smith, will be sworn in the next day. The resignation is set to come nearly a month after Franken announced his plans to leave the Senate. Others in the Senate called on him to bow out following a flurry of sexual misconduct allegations against him. In his December 7th resignation speech, Franklin said only that he would be leaving in the coming weeks. The two-term senator, first elected in 2008, initially intended to let a Senate Ethics Committee investigate the allegations against him. Then came a seventh claim against him on December 6th from a woman claiming that Franklin tried to forcibly kiss her in 2006. And a chorus of female Democrat senators, including New York Kristen Gillibrand and California's Kamala Harris, calling for his resignation, effectively forcing his departure. Al Franken put a tweet that says, "I'll be coming home." Franken in his speech noted his original plan regarding an ethical investigation, which he thought would help, and he argued that some of the allegations against me are simply not true. Others I remember very differently. Most rapists do. You know, you have rapists that think they were invited to do what they do on the women. Franken also suggests that there was something ironic about his leaving the Senate while President Donald Trump, a man who has bragged on tape about his history of sexual assault, he did not brag about sexual assault. You know, and I love how this man, I say raped a woman, he grabbed her while she slept, had it photographed, has to try to push the blame off to somebody else for his fucking actions, for his fucking disgrace. That really is disgusting. Now, such statements by Franken fueled speculation that the senator, a former comedian, had been having second thoughts about his next steps, or that he was at least in no hurry to be run out of Washington, especially after members of both political parties have raised similar arguments. When asked after his resignation speech what his post-resignation plans were, Franklin simply replied, "I'll be coming home." As opposed to coming on other women. Oh, that was bad, wasn't it? That was bad. Oh. I gotta play this. I haven't heard the whole thing, but BZ sent this to me, and this is supposed to be Nancy Pelosi the clown.
Good evening. Good evening. I know you're there. I can hear the...
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. We will, of course, retain the White House with the election of Hillary Clinton. I believe we will gain the United States Senate. It will be close. I am a progressive Democrat in the Congress, and I'm never good enough for the far left.
Why is it so hard to get a company to execute that competently?
I don't know. And as one who works very hard...
How do you not know?
Well, it's not my responsibility. It's about choice. If you like what you have and you want to keep it, you have the choice to do that.
Are you accountable for saying something that turned out not to be correct?
Well, it's not that it's not correct.
We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it away from the fog of the controversy.
Well, there's a lot of hoop-de-doo and ado about what's happening now. Very appropriate.
I get your point, but your point isn't well taken, if I may be so bold as to suggest.
Aren't you getting a little old, Mitch? Shouldn't you step aside? Have you ever asked him that question? Benghazi, Benghazi, Benghazi. Why aren't we talking about something else?
Is an unborn baby with a human heart and a human liver a human being?
Okay. Why don't you take your ideological questions? I don't know who you are. I think I know more about this subject than you. I'm not going to have this conversation with you because you obviously have an agenda. Anybody here have a smartphone? In this smartphone, almost everything came from federal investments. But I think almost everybody I know cannot live without having a paycheck on time. Members of Congress even.
I said Tina.
Let's for a moment honor it as a legitimate question. Although it's quite offensive that you don't realize that, I guess.
Excuse me. We don't have a gavel.
Certainly not Nancy Pelosi, who says the name Gruber does not ring a bell.
I don't know who he is. He didn't help write our bill. And so it brings down rates. I don't know if you have seen Jonathan Gruber of MIT's analysis.
Next. Next.
Leader Pelosi.
I love that one. I don't know who Jonathan Gruber is, and then they have sound clips. Well, you got to ask Jonathan Gruber. You know, she knew who the hell he was. They knew, and they tried to play it off. I don't think it got blown off so good. All right, what is it? Now, I wasn't able to confirm this, but I found this article. And now, see how I started that out, that I wasn't able to confirm it? I don't know if this is a fake story or not, is what I'm saying. It could be. Alabama Secretary of State John Morrill has launched an investigation into voter fraud accusation from last week's Senate special election, in which Democrat Doug Jones was declared the winner over his Republican opponent, embattled Judge Roy Moore. Moore has yet to officially concede. The investigation was triggered by a viral video of Jones supporters telling Fox 10 reporter Kate Weiss that he and others had traveled from different parts of the country to vote for their candidate, Jones. Here, let me see if I can find this real quick. Give me a second. Do. Like I said, I have not confirmed any of this, but I did see that video clip. Come on. All right.
Because we came here all the way from different parts of the country as part of our fellowship, and all of us pitched in to vote and canvass together, and we got our boy elected. Let's go! All the way from different parts of the country as part of our fellowship. All the way from different parts of the country, all the way from different parts of the country, as part of our fellowship, all the way from different parts of the country, as part of...
All the way from different parts of the country. What's that? That is really, it makes you wonder. Now, supposedly there's an investigation. What's up, BZ? Supposedly there's an investigation. Now, speaking to Fox 10, Morrill said the clip was very discouraging, and adding that his team is working to identify the man in the video. While it's very disconcerting when someone who's not from Alabama says that they participated in our election, so now it's incumbent upon us to try to identify this young man to see what kind of role he played, if it was simply play a canvassing role, or if he was part of a process that went out and tried to register voters, or if he himself actually became a registered voter, he said. Secretary of State said he's received hundreds of emails inquiring about the video. I've got to do something I got to do everything I can. What the fuck? I got to do everything I possibly can to try and find this kid and figure it out. Jesus Christ, I can't speak all of a sudden. Holy shit. Was he just exuberant in his expression? Was he overtly enthusiastic about what was going on? Those things make perfect sense to me. He's a kid, probably never been on TV before. If he had, he probably hadn't been on more than a couple of times. Probably never been on a TV in a situation that was that intense with that much going on. Since Alabama has a voter ID law, Merrill noted that it is unlikely there was fraud. Moore still has not officially conceded the election, and in a fundraising email on Saturday said his campaign was investigating reports of voter fraud, reports the Huffington Post. Alabama Senate special election results must be certified by the 3rd of next month. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catholic, stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening.
Contact is the evening.
Now back to Reaver Common Sense with Jersey Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to try to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up at top of the hour of B, the Sackheads Radio Show. The number one rated show on Wednesday nights on SHR between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 p.m. on the East Coast. Also voted on by 3 people, and only 2 of the 3 agreed that it's the best show on SHR Media on Wednesday night between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 p.m. And I'm not going to throw the other person under the table. I would never do that to BZ. So, congressional investigators tell Fox News that Tuesday's 7-hour interrogation of Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe contained numerous conflicts with the testimony of previous witnesses, prompting the Republican majority staff of the House Intelligence Committee to decide to issue fresh subpoenas next week on Justice Department and FBI personnel. Now, while HPSCI staff would not confirm who will be summoned for testimony, all indication points to demoted DOJ official Bruce Orr, and FBI General Counsel James A. Baker, who accompanied McCabe, along with other lawyers, to Tuesday's session. The issuance The issuance of the subpoenas against the Justice Department top lawyer could provoke a new constitutional clash between the two branches, even worse than the month-long tug-of-war over documents and witnesses that has already led House Speaker Paul Ryan to accuse DOJ and FBI of stonewalling, and HPSCI Chairman David Nunes to threaten contempt of Congress citations against Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and FBI Director Christopher Wray. It's hard to know who's telling us the truth, said one House investigator after McCabe's questioning. Fox News is told that several lawmakers participated in the questioning of McCabe, led chiefly by Representative Trey Gowdy. Bruce Orr was demoted at the DOJ for concealing his meetings with the men behind the anti-Trump dossier. Sources close to the investigation say that McCabe was a friendly witness to the Democrats in the room, who are said to have pressed the deputy director without success to help them build a case against President Trump for obstruction of justice in the Russian collusion probe. If he could have, he would have, said one participant in the questioning. Investigators say McCabe recounted to the panel how hard the FBI had worked to verify the contents of the anti-Trump dossier and stood by its credibility. But when pressed to identify what in the salacious document the Bureau had actually corroborated, the sources said McCabe cited only the fact that Trump's campaign advisor, Carter Page, had traveled to Moscow. So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You say that this dossier, you have corroborated the information in it. But the only one that you can confirm is that one person traveled to Moscow. That's it. Beyond that, investigators said McCabe could not even say that the Bureau had verified the dossier's allegation about the specific meeting Page supposedly held in Moscow. Good evening, Mr. BZ. How are you? It's amazing. The source said when asked when he learned that the dossier had been funded by the Hillary Clinton campaign and the DNC, McCabe claimed he could not recall, despite the reported existence of documents with McCabe's own signature on them, establishing his knowledge of the dossier's financing. The decision by HPSCI staff to subpoena Orr comes as he is set to appear before the Senate Intelligence Committee, which is conducting its own probe of Russian interference in the 2016 election. Until earlier this month, when Fox News began investigating him, Orr held two titles at DOJ: Associate Deputy Attorney General, a post that placed him 4 doors down from his boss, Rosenstein, and Director of the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force, a program described by the department as the centerpiece of the Attorney General's drug strategy. I would question any of these people's the way they're acting. I question their loyalty even to justice, whether they're not being bribed. He's sitting on a drug enforcement task force. I would question his finances and want to see him to make sure that he is not being paid off by a cartel. That's how much I trust him now because of his shenanigans. You know, it's... I don't know about anybody else, but I'm getting tired of these assholes that think they're above the law, think they're superior, and act it. And then they get all butthurt when they get questioned about their loyalties and whether they can be trustworthy. It's ridiculous. And this guy, not only did his wife work for the creators, Fusion GPS, she was hired to be the go-between to help create this dossier. She was hired because of his connection in the DOJ. That right there tells me these people have no ethics, no morals, and cannot be trusted. And they should not be working in the federal department dealing with any justice. Because it seems very much to me that their brand of justice is up for sale. they're willing to sell out their positions to create fake evidence against a presidential candidate, if they're willing to spy on an opposing party who says they won't manufacture evidence against an American citizen that they're investigating, they're willing to do something that sick, what is to stop them from screwing over an American citizen? And anybody that he has had a hand in convicting, I would be on my phone with my attorney. I want an appeal. I want an appeal. This guy is corrupt. There's the evidence. And that would be enough to put a reasonable doubt into someone's head. When you do this type of work, you're not supposed to be doing this because it gives the appearance of impropriety and can cause your work to get overturned. These people need to lose their jobs because they cannot be trusted to dispense justice. With that, I'm going to head out. Coming up next is Sackheads Radio Show. Everybody, have a great night. See you tomorrow. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.